Okay, so we're going to look at a quick um, illustration using the word industrialization for the kids to understand what it's about. So we have letter I. So what were the causes of industrialization? And we're going to start with the letter I. Okay, I, the first thing you need is investment. Okay, so you're going to have the kids draw this out. So you need investment, which means you need money. You need money from entrepreneurs that are going to invest. They're going to give money so that they could create, so they could invest money on hiring inventors to come up with new technology. You need, so inventors, technology, you need buildings, you need a lot of money. You need a lot of investment for different things. So first you need money so that we could start everything, okay? So I'm gonna delete that. Okay, so again, we have investment. So again, this is money for everything. All right, the next letter that we're gonna circle, once we have investment, one of the first things that has to really help out in order for industrialization to happen is technology. Okay, we're gonna have technology. And so, for example, some technology that really helped out was, you had like the Bessemer process that made steel. So you had like iron ore in here that was used to create steel. That's the Bessemer process. And they use that, that was one technology. Another technology was the idea of interchangeable parts with like the rifles that Eli Whitney created that led to the mass production of goods. Okay, so one of the first OGs, and that's where I'll stop here for, here's where I'll stop here for technology, is we had even the spinning jenny. Okay, and that of course was like this loom that was used to create textiles, and women worked on those looms. All right, next we have investment, we have technology. Okay, you need people to work. You need people to work that. So you're going to have immigrant labor. All right, so you needed immigrants to come in from countries like Ireland, other parts of Europe, and they come work. Those immigrants leave their country and they come work for cheap or inexpensive. Okay, so we have the money needed to start everything, to get you the technology, the factories, to pay the workers, all that good stuff. Then you have those inventors that create the technology, like the steel Bessemer process, interchangeable parts in mass production, and that leads to mass production of goods, spinning jenny, etc. Then you need people to actually work the technology. That's going to be your immigrant labor. So these immigrants come from different parts of Europe, and remember, they come into the north. So most of this happened in the Northeast. They come in, the machines do all the work, they just got to press buttons over and over, do certain things, and now you have, as you can see, you have the money for it, they start creating the technology, you have the people that use that, and the last thing you have to do here, the T, is for transportation. Okay, so they mass produce goods, whether it's, textiles, if it's guns, if it's shoes, whatever, you need to have transportation. And one of the big things, and actually I messed this up right here, another invention that's very important is the steam engine, because that's going to lead, steam engine by James Watt, because that's going to lead to the methods of transportation, okay? So in the waters, you have now steamboats, okay, transporting all these goods. Then on land, because you have the Bessemer process that makes steel cheap, you have more railroad tracks, which means now you have these steam locomotives, those trains, they're carrying goods, and you still see that to this day. So these are examples of different methods of transportation, okay, that came about because of technology, that are now taking all the goods that you want to the people. And okay, all of this means that all of this is happening up here in the Northeast, but because we have railroads, we have steamboats, we could get all these goods that are being manufactured in the Northeast at mass numbers all over to the United States. Okay, so again, investment starts everything off. That leads to technology that is going to change the way things are produced and also how they're transported. The people that are needed for that is immigrant labor. They're coming in to fulfill some of these jobs and all these requests of goods. And last but not least, you have transportation. These are the major causes of industrialization. All of those have to happen. You could draw this out with your kiddos.